Good day and welcome to Airbnb Rental Pros. We're excited that you've stopped by and want to know more about how you can partner with a pro. Since your time is valuable, let's dive right in. Why is it that you have not been able to get your short-term rental property up and running successfully on Airbnb, VRBO, TripAdvisor, or Bookings.com? Do you feel that your property should be making significantly more than what it currently is? Let's discuss a few of the challenges that lay ahead for potential or current hosts. First, it can be very expensive to get your rental property ready and rented out in the short-term rental market. If you do not currently own any property, then the cost of buying a home to rent out could make it out of reach for many folks. Even if you do have a property to rent out, it can be expensive to purchase furniture, decor, appliances, supplies, and everything else you might need to have it ready, which can add up quickly. And again, it can quickly become several $1,000 venture to have everything you think you need to have the space ready for guests from around the world to visit and to pay for. This, of course, assumes you know exactly how to set up your space, what you need to spend money on and what you don't, and how to create alignment between the experience of staying at your listing and what your guests expect coming in. The second challenge is what I alluded to already. Many folks just do not know how to make their short-term rental work the way they want it to. They don't know how to market and brand the listings so they get consistent bookings. They don't know how to design, clean, and maintain the space so that it produces income for years to come. And lastly, they don't know how to run their short-term rental business in a way that allows it to grow. These are honestly lessons that can only be learned through years of experience and thousands of guests. So it is understandable that most individuals do not possess this level of information necessary to be successful. If you are in the San Diego market, like we are, then you are well positioned to make money from your short-term rental property, and we look forward to helping you double or even triple your rental income. This also ties into the rules and regulations governing rental units. Do you know your area's regulations, or are you flying by the seat of your pants hoping nobody notices? It might be time for you to partner with a pro. And if you're like most people, if you have a job that you go to 5 days a week, and the idea of running a vacation rental property with cleanings in the middle of the day and constant messages from guests just doesn't seem feasible, you're right. Short-term property management involves a much higher degree of hands-on involvement and is nearly impossible to be successful at while working a normal 9-to-5 job. Also, if you simply try to manage your short-term rental property yourself, then you will find that such a large portion of your time will be spent keeping it cleaned, maintained, marketed, and booked. It will take so much of your time that the idea of starting a second or a third property would seem ridiculous. When you partner with the pros, you get a fully automated system that has allowed us to host thousands of guests, maintain beautiful properties, some that we own ourselves, and make 6 figures in rental income while not giving up all of our time. Lastly, what if you don't own property and you don't know where to look to find a space to rent out? Well, this could be a huge problem for you, as the real estate market is endless in its complexity, and it is far too easy to go out and rent or buy a place only to find out that a detail or two required to make it all work was unknown to you. And there you go. It just doesn't work and you're all out of money. So we have discussed many of the largest obstacles or challenges that could keep us from successfully profiting from our short-term rental business. So why listen to us? Well, at Airbnb Rental Pros, we have seen it all and are ready to leverage that knowledge and experience into a successful rental operation for you. We have hosted thousands of guests from every country in the world, and we maintain some of the highest ratings on websites such as Airbnb, Bookings.com, and TripAdvisor. We'll set up your property listing and market it on numerous websites, handling every aspect from start to finish. We utilize cutting-edge data analytics from AirDNA and can make smart and informed decisions for your short-term rental, whether you're here in San Diego with us or setting up in Bali or anywhere else. Our cleaning and maintenance program is second to none and has probably had one of, if not the greatest impacts to our bottom line over the years. We understand fully that guests, more than anything, want a clean, safe, comfortable space, and we have perfected delivering that experience over the years. We have front desk and concierge services designed to be on call 24/7 to answer booking inquiries, provide guest support, and to ensure that cleanings and other logistical operations are completed as scheduled. We can handle your monthly ordering of cleaning and household supplies to include toilet paper, paper towels, trash bags, and laundry detergent, just to name a few. Just one more nice service that we provide as your short-term rental partner. Not sure your property is designed or furnished in a way that will bring in top dollar? Let our expert interior design specialist remake your space, making it into one that maximizes the use of the space while pleasing the eye and making daily tasks easier and more manageable. We utilize a proprietary pricing strategy that blends data analytics with high quality brand building techniques that make your space a rare find or a must-have listing. This means that the longer we manage your property, the better the search rating it will develop and the more views and bookings we will secure. In addition to this, we offer, as a full-service short-term rental property management company, the ability to market your listing across multiple platforms and websites. This ensures that you book out the maximum number of days each month and for nightly prices that double or triple your rental income. So how is that possible? I get asked this a lot. Well, imagine that you have a one-bedroom home and it's a detached property here in San Diego. Let's look at some numbers. Okay, so on the left side, I have a typical one-bedroom home in San Diego. It's 671 square feet, as you can see there. The average monthly income here in San Diego is high at almost $1,800 per month for that one bedroom. So as a landlord, you are making good money compared to the rest of the country. I researched the average rental rates in San Diego using rentcafe.com and then estimated monthly expenses based on a typical situation where the owner pays utilities, maintenance, and property taxes. There certainly may be expenses here that are left out, but I just want to make sure we use this as an example to display the vast difference between being a long-term rental landlord and a short-term rentalpreneur. I keep many of the expenses the same on both sides, though I added costs for supplies, cleaning, linens, etc. As well. The net income for a long-term landlord is just above $1,000 a month or $12,000 per year, and I can see why few individuals really get all that excited for that little money and the work it takes to manage tenants, right? So they'd rather just hand that off to a traditional property management company. On the right side, you can see that right off the bat, the income is double and nearly triple that of a long-term lease. Many people would like to point out that a short-term rental property may require more money to get started than a long-term rental, but fortunately, we also provide access to low-cost financing that can provide you the money to have everything up and running. The loan is then repaid out of the bookings we secure, and you can return for more money when you pay back the advance so that you can grow your business and add more rental units. So if you were making nearly $20,000 more a year from each of your rentals, how many would you like to have? The obvious answer is more, and we are the partners that help make that possible. So we know that some folks will get stopped up after we show the comparison. They really want to get started in the short-term rental market and they are eager to get to work, but they lack an adequate space to begin renting out. This is where being a boutique property management firm allows us to work with those individuals to locate a property, secure financing to rent it, design the layout, furnish it properly, market it quickly, and then begin receiving direct deposits from the listing into their bank account. Though that may sound simple, it is not an avenue that we recommend for folks to try out on their own, as it is riddled with potential negatives and possible pitfalls. Only by using a proven system can we help your listings maximize the money coming to you throughout the month and minimize the risks and liability. Partner here with a pro at AirBnb Rental Pros, and we will have you up and running in no time. All right, guys, so we have a case study here, just a quick story about John and his wife, Mary. So I'm going to tell you about them. John and his wife, Mary, were pretty smart. They purchased a duplex in San Diego at a great price, and now they're wondering, how best should I operate this rental in order to maximize my return? Now, they could rent it out to long-term tenants, and they could make market value for the rental. And this is typical, but actually surprisingly risky and moderate to low in terms of the financial return for the space. So let's say they were able to charge maybe only $1,000 a month for the space to long-term renters. It's only a one bedroom, one bath. The tenant signs a year lease, then they're pretty certain they're going to see $12,000 a year for this half of the property, and that's going to offset some of the costs for them living in this duplex. Now, a lot of people take that option and just kind of call it a day right there. But here's why we think this is really risky. It's the risk we call renter psychology. Any person who stays in a place long enough, and we've found that it's anything over 7 days, people begin to take ownership of that space and they feel attached to it in a way that can sometimes lead to negative treatment of that unit, in terms of neglect, in terms of lack of cleaning and things of that nature. We've found that short-term renters who stay less than 7 days don't develop an attachment with the space, and they tend to treat it as though they're borrowing it from you. Vice, it's not their own living environment. It's not their home where they'll kick off their slippers and not pick up the Cheetos that fall in the couch. And they treat it much better, and like to be known as someone who leaves the place better than they found it. That's always pretty important for their reviews as they travel. So this leads to drastically lower maintenance costs from guests than from long-term tenants, and basically just a better overall experience, as we get to keep the units in a much higher state of cleanliness with so much less work, because we're cleaning the spaces 2 and 3 times each week. So we're back to John and Mary, and they've decided that the cost of living in San Diego really means they need to make more than just an extra $1,000 a month. And so they decide to launch the space, their 1-bedroom, 1-bath, as a short-term rental unit. Based on data analytics of hundreds of similar or like listings on Airbnb, it can be easily seen that in San Diego, John and Mary could easily rent their 1-bedroom, 1-bath unit for more than $2,500 a month, which would be 2.5 times what they were making from a long-term renter. And that's only in the off-season. Now in the summer months, where demand is highest, they could make upwards of $5,000 a month. So this could dramatically do 2 to 3 times the income that they're used to from their rental unit. Because John and Mary knew that they didn't have all the answers to making this new Airbnb rental work right off the start, they leveraged the knowledge, experience, and systems that Airbnb Rental Pros had to offer. Their time from concept to launch was only 3 weeks, and we went live with their listing having the confidence that they didn't need to know how to handle customers' complaints. They didn't need to set their pricing. They didn't need to know how to market and how to create content and what platforms to send it to. They didn't need to worry about search engine optimization and how were they going to make their properties, their listings rise to the top, get the most views, the most bookings, the most inquiries. They didn't need to know how to do any of that. They didn't need to know how to keep the space properly cleaned and maintained, because you know what? They were smart, and they hired Airbnb Rental Pros to do it all for them. Now, John and Mary had heard at an Airbnb Open on accident that the average host makes only about $7,500 a year from their listings. This surprised them pretty greatly, as they were making more than that in a single month in the summer, because they'd worked with Airbnb Rental Pros, which aligned all aspects of their operation in an easy to understand and easy to operate way. They saw that the cost of working with true professionals was such a small expense in the path to sustainable profits and more rentals. And so here's just a quick breakdown. Gross revenue, long-term rentals, $12,000 a year or $1,000 extra a month. Short-term rentals, you're looking at a 233% increase in revenue per year, and that's a very modest number. 40 to 50,000 is more closely aligned to a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in San Diego at this time. All right, so you can see what it takes to successfully manage and operate a short-term rental business. It takes quite a few moving pieces working in concert with each other to deliver a consistent and positive experience for guests over time. At Airbnb Rental Pros, we know this, and we're happy to take the heavy lifting off your shoulders and onto ours. We will help you launch or relaunch your listing, set up a cleaning and maintenance program with our professional staff, maximize search engine optimization, pricing strategy, and marketing, all while ensuring that you are earning more than you thought possible. All of these experience-driven products and services are worth more than $7,000 and probably cost us 10 times that over the years to learn and develop. All of it is working for you, as we charge nothing out of pocket and only apply a 20% management fee to each booking, so you don't pay $1 until you make money. This is as risk-free as it gets, and all you have to do is schedule an appointment with one of our pros to discuss your specific situation and see if you are a good fit for our services. After this video, you'll have the opportunity to click a link below to move to our scheduling tool, where you can schedule your consultation with one of our pros. You'll discuss your situation and develop a short-term rental strategy that works for you. Now is your time. Take action and schedule a call with a pro so we can help you make more money today.